What's happening, everybody? Welcome back and thanks for watching. In this video we get the turbo feed and drain lines on. We start working on the new fuel lines and fuel filter, getting that on. We get some Mobil 1 motor oil in the engine and we crank it over to lube everything up. Now it's time to get some spark and fuel to the motor so we can start cranking it. Alright, so I moved the camera so that you guys could see the coil packs down in there. I'm wiring up the spark plug wires, and now I've changed the ECU to a DSM Link or ECM Link version 3 computer, and I think I have to change the cam angle sensor, which is fine because I've already broke that one anyway. But so on the stock location it goes 4 1 2 3, and on the 95 EEPROM computer it goes 3 2 1 4. So we're gonna do that real quick. I do have to rebuild, I believe it's this one. When I was pulling it out, I knocked the end off. I need to push that back up on the wire and re-put the end on. No big deal. I'm perfectly capable of building a set of spark plug wires. So let's see here. What did I say it was? It was 3 2 1 4. So, and that was going over this way from the back of the motor to the front. This is 1 2 3 4. So this is 4. No, I'm sorry. This is 3 2 1 4. I believe. Okay, I just double checked. Yes, I was looking at this and confused myself. This is 4 or 3 2 1 and then 4. So we'll go ahead and do this. This is 3. And then 2, which is the one I need to rebuild. So I'm just going to lay it there because I have to take it out anyway. 3 2 1 4. So 3 2 and then 1 and then 4. Now I don't really like this. All these spark plug wires are really long, so I think I'm gonna shorten them all up. I'll rebuild this one to this length, yeah, this one, and then I'll probably cut all of these down and resize that end, because that end would be a lot easier to rebuild than this end, because this has a 90 and it has to be in the right position to hit the spark plug down inside the head. So I'm probably going to rebuild this one to be the correct length on this end and all the rest of them on the shorter end, because like I said, it'd be easier. So give me a little bit. I'm going to do that. We've already put oil in the motor and cranked it over, so we got oil flowing through the whole thing. The level's perfect. The filter should be full. The oil cooler should be full. So, and maybe, I think I didn't crank it over very long, but maybe even the turbo's got oil in it. Obviously, we'll do that again before we start it up. But I wanted to get everything on the motor put together and be able to start it. Now, mind you, I still have to run a fuel line from the tank, and I believe a return line also. So we're not going to be firing it up today because I still need that fuel line. But we'll get everything all ready to go and check for spark and make sure everything's golden. Obviously, we won't have any fuel to it, so I'm not worried about that right now. And I still need to put belts on the motor and everything else. I'm going to get new belts because the ones I got are a little crusty. And then turbocharge piping, a wastegate and a blow-off valve, finish connecting the AC, put some belts on. And I think we're going to be jamming here pretty quick. We're going to be starting this thing. Okay, so that right there is the coil pack plug. So that's got power. So we're just going to take this. I don't want these up against the timing belt. So I'm going to turn them all and get them out of the way. Take this one off because I got to still rebuild it. I'm going to pull all of these loose. I'll take number 4 out. Hopefully I'll be able to see that, but if not, I'll rewind the video a little bit. So what we're looking for here is I'm going to crank over the car real quick, and we're going to see if that sparks. If we got spark, then that's a good thing. I didn't really see any spark. That's not to say it didn't start. I was looking underneath the hood, so I couldn't really see all that great. But we're going to try it again. I think I can see it a little bit better right there, hopefully. And this is one of the old spark plugs. However, I did wire wheel it real quick just to kind of clean it up a bit. I'm not really seeing anything. All right, I'm gonna go look at the video real quick and see if I can see anything on your end or on the camera's end. Okay, well, I'm not firing on all cylinders today or this morning. We're not going to get any spark if we don't have a cam angle sensor, so I found it. Now, it is broke, but I think I put it together to where the prongs are touching. So we'll see if that produces spark. It might not, because like I said, it is broke, but hopefully it'll pick up something and we'll get a little spark out of it. Yeah, I'm not seeing any spark. I don't think that that cam angle, or yeah, that cam angle sensor is doing anything. I went ahead and now I know I'm going to get some flack for this. It's not a permanent fix. I just did it to see if everything was getting fired, but I took apart the cam angle sensor and I went ahead and soldered it together, and then over here in this corner, this wire harness right here was, well, this one right there was tucked down behind the motor. So I saw two little sensors over here that connect the harness. So I came over here and I plugged that in, and I think that's all. I mean, there are some other sensors and whatnot that I think that's AC. It's green. I think the ACs are the green ones, and so there's a couple over here. This one's to the fluid reservoir on the stock setup. We're not running a stock setup, so that's not going to be used. I'm going to tuck it away, zip tie it, make it all nice and pretty. One of those is probably to this little breather sensor, like this right here, probably goes there. I'm not 100% sure, but it fits. So, and that goes up there to roughly the same location. So that probably is that one. Like I said, I need to get a schematic and go over everything one time before we finalize anything. But let's see if we get some spark, because now that I've got the cam angle sensor fixed up, kind of half-ass, and that wire harness over there plugged in, I think we might be able to get some spark. I went over the motor once, made sure the wire harness and everything was plugged in. Everything that I could find that was unplugged, I went ahead and plugged in. Excuse the shaking around. I'm trying to get the camera set, and well, dang it. There we go. Now we'll be able to see the spark plug and see if we have any spark. And we definitely do. So once I rebuild that other, and I might do that right now, start working on all of the plug wires so I don't have this big mess on the top of the motor. I want them all fit perfectly. Let's back that out. Yeah, so that whole big mess right there I want gone. So I'm going to probably work on those, get all those trimmed up and resized. I can't just go buy, well, I guess I could go buy the right set, but these are pretty cool wires. They're really fat. They are 18.2 millimeter high energy wires from VMS Racing. I don't know if that's any good or not. I've never heard of them, but I know that bigger wires are better. So I'll go ahead and use them. I'll just resize them and make them awesome and make them, you know, cut them to fit. So I think that's what I'm going to work on now. Mind you, we still have the fuel line to build and put in with the fuel filter. And what else do I need? I still need a bunch of stuff for the hoses and belts and stuff for the motor. So we're not going to be able to start it today, but I that's my goal. That's what I'm pushing for. I want to start it here pretty soon and get everything done. Once I start it, I'm going to be working on charge piping and well, water hoses. Have to do that before. So yeah, once I get the fuel line in and the fuel filter up to the rail and from the rail back to, I believe it goes back to the tank, then we'll start trying to start it. And then once we start it, I'll figure out all the vacuum lines and get it running pristine. So let's quit talking and get to work. All right, what's happening, everybody? It's been a day or so since I came in. I did a bunch of work, got it cranking, got the spark. This might end up on the same video because I haven't finished editing the other one yet. But now that we have spark and we have everything going together, I went down today to J&G Aircraft, or I'm sorry, G&J Aircraft, and got new fuel lines. So we're going to run all new fuel lines, stainless braided lines in the engine bay, going through the fuel filter and all that. Like, I'm super jazzed about that. All AN fittings except for the one right there on the fuel rail. Because I haven't replaced the fuel rail yet, I didn't really worry about that. I think that hose cost me like 40 bucks or something like that. It wasn't really big of a deal. So when I do the cams and the intake and the fuel rail and the injectors and all that, we're gonna go ahead and do AN lines to the rail. Right now we still have the, I don't know what that is, a little diamond shaped plug in. But we're gonna get it all squared away, get them all put on. And that's probably gonna be about it today because, well, maybe I'll start working on the return to the tank. If we can get some fuel lines on this thing and all squared away, I can plug in the fuel pump and maybe even start the car. If we can start the car today, then I can start working on charge piping and exhaust. And this car is getting really close to being able to deliver it to my son. Obviously, if I had an endless supply of money with all the time I have right now, I would probably be done. But I still got to work on a whole bunch of vacuum lines and water lines and belts and everything. So let's shut up and get to work. I got this really cool AN fitting to go on the hardline. I didn't know these existed, but the guy told me, oh man, if you're going from a hardline, you don't have to ferret. You can just take this and put this in there and put this on the hose, on the hardline, and squish them together. And I was like, man, I think that hardline is a little bit bigger around than that. But we're gonna find out right now. And unfortunately, that's underneath the car. And you won't be able to see it. So I'll snap my fingers and we'll be done. Well, I'll tell you what, snapping your fingers and being done is way easier than actually doing the work. But I got the fuel filter in, I got the fuel lines in. I still have to mount the lines. Probably just gonna use some P-clips and self-tappers underneath on the pin trail or something. And I still have to connect the other line to the fuel tank, but I need to lift that that shelf on the top of the box to do that. But everything looks pretty good. I did get one of the lines is a little bit long, but you can't really tell. I'm probably going to take off this brake line and run it under or around the fuel filter, or maybe over and behind. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I don't like where it's at. Looks like crap. Not that anybody's going to be staring back down in there, but it's kind of messed up because all the pretty lines are way back there in the back. But I still got water lines to do and everything else. So I think I'm done for today. All right, I might do the line to the fuel tank. I've got everything up here squared away. Everything looks really good. All the nice bright and shiny stainless steel lines are kind of tucked back against the firewall, and they look really good. I wish I could do that with all the hoses and lines and everything. But those fuel lines today cost me over $100. And that was a lot. Being that, I mean, don't get me wrong. The fuel line from the fuel filter to the fuel rail, I already had that, but it looked ugly. It looked real ugly. So I had them cut and braze on new ends and make it all PTFE stainless steel braided beautiful fuel line, and that was expensive. But we are getting a lot more work done. I'm super excited. Like I said, I've already got to run all underneath the car and everything. I got to lift that nitrous shelf back there a little bit so I can get under there, and then I can attach that line to the top of the fuel tank. And then I'm gonna leave that up because then I gotta run a line, and I don't know which line I'm gonna run. If I'm gonna make it another stainless all the way back to the fuel tank for the return from the other side of the fuel rail. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I might just grab some hose or something, some bulk hose, and just run it back. I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet. I might do like I did on this side and get a section of really awesome stainless steel braid line. I don't know yet. I'm trying to get it as far along as I can. I have to do something so that I can try and fire it up. I'm really trying to get all the systems knocked out to where at least I can start it. Once I start it, I'm gonna be happy. I mean, I still got a whole bunch of other stuff to do. I still got a catch can. I still got all the water piping. I still have to do the charge piping for the turbo. All the oil lines are done, and all of the fuel lines, well, except for the return, are done. So I'm pretty excited, but I'm pretty tired today, and it's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I think I'm gonna call it a day here pretty quick and go get something to eat. So y'all have a great week, and we will catch you in the next one.